It met up with goat grass that had 14 chromosomes. The result was emmer, 28 chromosomes. This is a hybridization process. It is cross-pollination. It is not genetic modification. Emmer was the unleavened bread of the Old Testament. Modern wheat has another 14 chromosomes, and it's these last 14 that have been hybridized time and time again, so the wheat has changed. The main purpose of it was from the 4-foot waves of grain, you know, the long amber waves of grain. The wheat stalks were about 4 feet tall. Well, in the mid-20th century, we needed more wheat. The population was expanding. We had to fertilize the fields. Well, the more we fertilized, the bigger the grain of wheat became, and it buckled the stalk. Farmers call that lodging. A man by the name of Norman Borlaug came along and developed dwarf wheat, 2 feet tall, with big, thick stalks. He won every prize you could win, from the Nobel Prize all the way down. Same prizes that Nelson Mandela and Mother Teresa has won, because he developed the dwarf wheat. He's given credit for saving 1 billion lives from starvation, simply by growing wheat. But the wheat has changed. The protein of wheat is called gluten. It causes celiac disease. It used to be generally fatal until we found out what was causing it. But we now have 5 times more celiacs than we have ever had in the United States. Most of them are adults. And there are adults who have consumed wheat for 70 years without any problem whatsoever, and then develop celiac disease. Now, the adults haven't changed. It's the protein in the wheat that has changed. And there's a problem with carbohydrate. It has changed. Ancient carbohydrates were very low glycemic. But modern wheat turns to sugar in your mouth with your saliva before it even reaches your stomach. Your blood sugar will increase higher with 2 slices of whole wheat bread than 2 tablespoons of sugar. Call that glycemic index. So it's not your mother's wheat. Because of the protein, there's a lot of people who cannot eat wheat. And because of the carbohydrate, there's people who will not eat wheat. There's 2 books written by doctors out there. One is called Wheat Belly, not Beer Belly, but Wheat Belly. And the other one's called Grain Brain. They're excellent books written by physicians. You might want to look into those. But the grains that go into Juice Plus Complete are ancient grains that have never been hybridized. They've been supporting populations, mostly in South America, for centuries. Amaranth, millet, and quinoa. Now we call them grains, but technically they're seeds, as many as 60,000 on a single blossom. And like soy, they have a complete amino acid profile, and they are very low glycemic. The carbohydrate present in these grains is resistant to amylase. Now, fiber is important. I mentioned earlier, you have 10 trillion cells in your body, human cells. You have 100 trillion bacteria in your intestinal tract, 10 times as many.